I guess it came as a surprise to me that this had become a kind of ancient history that fascinated people, that the 80s were a time that need explanation now. And maybe that's just the process of anyone growing through the years, that at some point your own story becomes history. My name is David France. I'm the director of How to Survive a Plague, which will be this year at the U.S. documentary competition at Sundance. How to Survive a Plague is a documentary about the efforts of a number of activists and researchers to try to find the drugs that were going to stop HIV from being an almost always fatal disease. It's a verite documentary for the most part, of this really heroic story on everybody's sides, from the patients, people with HIV who are struggling to try to save their own lives, and the scientists and doctors who they encountered at first and did battle with at first, on the assumption that they were uncaring and incapable of the feeling of urgency that was going to be necessary to bring about that change. It wasn't until 1987 that AIDS treatment activism really took hold in the formation of ACT UP in New York. And I was there at the beginning of ACT UP's formation and wrote the first feature story about the organization. It's told mostly through a trove of footage that I was able to amass over the last couple of years, shot in those years between 1985 and 1996, when the drug breakthrough came. And it's hard to remember what it looked like, even for those of us who were there, what it looked like to see sidewalks filled with young people in wheelchairs and leaning on buildings and trying to find the strength to get to the curb to hail a cab. Those images, they're hard to find. They don't exist. And I've spent the last 3 years looking for just the footage of the New York that I remember seeing. And I found a small corner of it that I was able to incorporate into How to Survive a Plague. It was really a quintessential American story of a group of people from the outside organizing in an unusual way to take on an insurmountable problem, an intractable problem, in a way that could produce results. In that way, it's a story like for the ages.